IS 400 information out and put it into the new, which our department cannot do.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Okay, we do have one open business item. Open business 1 is a motion to approve removing $1,095.13 of delinquent water from the 2019 winter tax roll, also removing $745.05 of delinquent water charges from the account number 135480 as of November 14, 2019, removal based on property acquired from county foreclosure auction.
Motion. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Winton, supported by Councilwoman Croft. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Okay, this now takes us to the open business portion of the agenda. If anybody on council or mayor would like to speak.
I have one thing, Mr. Chair.
Sure, Councilwoman
Just to let the residents know, or whoever, the Taylor Historical Society has canceled their meeting for Thursday. The parking lot in the back area where the Canoe Farmhouse is a lot of ice, and so we don't want anybody slipping and falling and getting hurt. One question I do have in regards to that ice is, Mr. Ullman, how do I say Ullman? Mr. Ullman, in regards to plowing in that parking lot area, with all the ruts. And I know this last time around with the snow came down, got cold, melted, got cold again, you know, kind of thing. So do they plow, how often do they plow in that back parking area?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know where Guido's at. I know he's here somewhere. I'm sorry. Oh, Johnny, are you here? Do you mind, what is the frequency of that one?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I know they are, I believe, Thursday, they're calling for warmer temps, so, you know, the salt should be activated with some of the warmer temps in the sun, so.
I just want to let everyone know that the meeting is canceled, the commission and the society meeting for historical.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I was out there earlier today, and it is still, you know, pretty compacted. It's going to be difficult to get up, you know, without some change in weather.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have anything?
Mr. Chairman,
Clerk Bauer?
just to let everyone know that absentee ballots will be available starting next week. So if you want a ballot, just stop by and we will get you signed up for one. And also I'm actively always, I'm probably going to say this every meeting from now and through the March 10th election. And then after that, I'm actively looking for election inspectors. It is a paid position. Please stop by and inquire and we'd be happy to give you more information. Thank you.
I'd also like to remind everybody, even though it's the middle of January, it is Little League season for signing people up. So if you got little boys and girls at home that want to play Little League this spring, reach out to your local, we got 2 leagues in the city now, and reach out to see which, if you reach out to the wrong one, they'll send you to the right one. So it's that time of year, and they want to play ball, get them signed up. So, does anybody else have anything? Okay, I'll now open the floor to the residents. If anybody has any concerns they'd like to speak. Ms. Kelly?
Again, Colleen Kelly, 14693 Bailey. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, the parking lots, the illegal parking lots, the land being cleared by a non-resident, people complaining that their dogs and cats are now being eaten by coyotes, and more trees are being knocked over, and we have numerous illegal parking lots and nobody's addressing it. Is anything going to change?
Mr. Chairman,
Mayor.
I don't know if Laura or Jesse wants to come up and comment on, I don't know, I know they're here somewhere, the history. I think there's, these have received formal approval back in 2013. So I'm not sure what you're stating, but Laura, I don't know if you want to elaborate on the past of this.
Where exactly? Just moving council through the chair. illegal parking lots that are going up all over, I'm not aware of any. I'm aware of a legal one on Holland Road that received ZBA approval for temporary parking and extension for that. Any others that are illegal lots, it's my understanding from the head of ordinance, have been ticketed, and it'll be up to the courts to decide what happens there. As far as the Inkster Road property, they have all proper permits for tree cutting and SCSC permits in place for removing out the stumps and cleaning up the site.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Remick?
or on the trees that were cut down on Inkster Road, how many trees were cut down?
In total, I have no idea because
we normally have
prior
somebody
to
count
the
those?
current owner's tree permits, there were 2 other tree permits pulled by the previous owner, and there was a lot of clear cutting done without permits prior to the second owner, by the first owner.
So let me understand this. Basically, they started a project, so that project was approved already in 2013 by turning in plans to build a parking lot there?
No, there have never been any plans submitted.
Do we
There's been
have,
preliminary discussion and preliminary sets of plans, but there have never been any formally submitted yet.
now, if someone is going to build something, do they submit the plans first before they start projects? Or do they have to put the plan in first and then start their approvals?
They have to have permits for everything they do on the property.
So those
I
properties,
can't, there have been in the past people that had lots that just took trees out, that pulled tree permits and stopped there and waited a few years before bringing a project forward.
so it's my understanding then, those 30 acres over there, all the permits have been pulled properly for cutting down all those trees over there on 30 acres.
Yes, they have, as far as I'm aware. I
And we
haven't
have-
went out personally and counted them, but we do have.
And we do have
documentation.
those on file.
Yes, we do, sir.
How come I couldn't get them? When I've asked for them, I didn't get them.
I was never asked for them. They were given in the FOIA that someone else requested.
So the FOIA that you gave them accounted for all those trees that were
It
cut
told
down.
how many were removed and how many were to be replaced.
Same thing on Holland, correct?
Correct.
So the Holland Road, all these parking lots that have popped up where these cars are being
Once
parked.
again, I'm not aware of all these parking lots. I mean, Taylor's a big area.
Who would
Do
be?
you have a number?
Who would be?
What area are you talking about? I don't know what
We'll
you're
wait.
referring to.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
Okay, is there
Mr.
any-
Chairman,
Mayor?
there is a airport parking company that went in at the corner of Inkster and Wick in, I believe, 2013. They came down and pulled proper business license and permits and were awarded that license in 2013 and have been operating there ever since. So I'm aware of that one. I'm not sure of any other ones. The Holland one, we've addressed. I think I sent an email out just updating everybody on, some of the questions that you all received, and I believe it answers most of that.
Mr. Chairman. So the parking at Valet Connections, all the parking, the extra parking they do inside our city and parking lots were part of those permits to allow them to park throughout our city in parking lots that aren't even legal.
Mr. Chairman,
Mayor?
I don't want to blanketly state anything. Holland went to the ZBA. Wick and Inkster was approved in 2013. Wick Road, I believe, was approved in mid-2013 as well. And then the one on Inkster Road that is currently in process, the only thing that I've reviewed with the planning department is a preliminary set of plans that included potentially 2 buildings of nearly 200,000 square feet of new construction.
So you're not aware of any cars being parked throughout our city on Brest Road or any of these other locations?
Mr.
On
Chairman,
Wick
I am,
Road?
and I addressed that in the email of what I believe is occurring and the amount of times that the city's been out there to inspect or investigate, what the complaints have been.
So no matter how those lots were made, illegally cut down trees and everything poured into those parking lots, and over the holidays, about 2,500 cars parked in our city, nobody knows about it.
Mr.
To
Chairman,
include our enforcement officers. So you're telling me that our enforcement officers never knew there were parking lots on Brest Road occurring there?
No, I'm telling you, I believe we do know, and we have been there.
But what have we done to stop the parking?
Mr. Chairman, we're not enforcing an isolated issue. As I mentioned before, up and down Brest Road, we have several different parking situations that go on there, including dealerships that are parking on lots. So we're not looking under a microscope and targeting a particular company. We're trying to fix the global problem, which is, bigger than just one issue.
Mr. Chairman, Lord, do we have any ordinances whatsoever, anything that allows us to build just a parking lot? Can I just build a parking lot?
We have automobile storage and we have designated P1 vehicular parking zoning.
Okay, so-
Particularly, but that parking is in conjunction with.
If you're aware, are you aware that the Holland Road the cars that are parking there are all coming from Wick and Inkster? That's the business there that I just mentioned to the mayor about parking cars that are dropping people off. They drop their cars off there, and those cars are being parked over there, not for storage, but for a parking lot for the airport.
Well, it depends on your definition of automobile storage. When a parking lot is parking for a particular business, the lots that went in, for instance, at Wick and Inkster, and the other one that on Wick, that went in under a special land use, so it has to go to Planning Commission and receive approvals because of the use, and they got approval for automobile storage there.
Does it say anywhere how long we can store cars for
No, it does
vehicle
not.
storage? So we can just issue and issue, because it's my understanding
Well,
that,
if they get a variance, it lasts 1 year. And when that 1 year is up, they have to either come back for an extension to the variance, or they have to discontinue what they're doing. It's a temporary use variance. is what
my
it is.
understanding, wasn't it true that they were supposed to at least build a building there after the first year, and we just gave them another extension, and they still haven't built the building?
That's
But they're
true.
parking cars of people who are leaving on flights from the airport.
That's true, but it's still my understanding, and what he explained to the Planning Commission, there were delays, and he still plans on building a building on the property.
But in the meantime, he's parking cars and making money, and
And
the
he
city's not
came through
making
the
a dime,
process,
not
and he
making
did
a
it
dime
legally.
off of business being run in this city. Thank you.
Wait, is he paying his taxes on the property?
Yes.
How much is his taxes
I have no
for a
idea.
business?
I have no idea for what his
Does
taxes
anybody
are.
else that runs businesses in this town pay for a business, not illegal parked cars? And we will, that's okay for right now.